All right. Welcome back to Paint Collectibles, everyone. Man, it's taking a lot of time to properly shoot these videos, pack them up, show you a proper reboxing and sealing, and make sure that you guys are satisfied and have no concerns when it comes to buying a used piece from me. So today we're gonna try and sell the Tian Tong Studios Ichigo Kurosaki. This is a long sold out piece. It is a gorgeous piece. Watch the reboxing video, or you can watch the unboxing video when I first brought it up over here. The portraits on Ichigo for an unlicensed piece are done so well. Like, really great piece. I actually really love the piece, and you're wondering why am I trying to sell it? It's because, guys, 1/6 when it's now, if it's like a Jime 1/6 with a big Dio or a big Susano behind it, that works for me, right? Like this 1/8 Sasuke with a giant skeletal Susano, when paired with like next to a 1/4 IKS, that works. But when it's just a 1/6 piece standalone with not much else going on around it, and it comes out to like 14 or 15 inches max, those are the stuff that I just don't have the room for. It doesn't fit with anything that I own, and it just ends up becoming an eyesore and a distraction. So I'm just gonna try and let it go. I'm just gonna let it go. I should have bought the 1/4 back in the day, but the problem is when I purchased that piece, the 1/4 was already long gone, and the only option left was to get the 1/6. So I got it, and it's been a good piece. I just don't have room for it. So I'm hoping, because it's a long sold out piece, I'm sure someone else out there has been looking for it, and I hope you find it, and I hope you like it, and I hope you get it. We are going to be doing $275 for this piece. All right, it's like I said, it's been long sold out, so we're doing $275, just a little bit under retail. And email me paintcollectibles@gmail.com, and we will go from there. If you're interested, it's first come first serve. I will hold it for 24 hours. If you don't respond in 24 hours, I'm going to move on to the next person who is interested in buying it. Payment options are going to be Zelle. After you email me, I'll tell you what Zelle to email to. Or we can do a PayPal goods and services invoice. You'll get an invoice from me, and you just have to pay it, and there will be fees included. All right? So it's really simple. We either do goods and services on PayPal, you will get an invoice, you have to pay the fee, or if you want to omit the fee entirely, we're going to do the transaction on Zelle. And that's how it's going to go. And again, we're only going to sell this through the channel. So if you see something that you like, email me, and I will get back to you, hopefully within a couple hours. And then after that, you've got 24 hours to decide if this is something that you want or not. And if you don't, after 24 hours, I will release it to the next buyer. How is shipping going to work? That's a good question. Now, we can do shipping one of two ways. I don't want you to think that I'm profiting over shipping, which I'm not. So if this is a piece that you want, get in contact with me, paintcollectibles@gmail.com. You will get an address. You can then go ahead, shop around, go and get your own shipping label. That is one way of doing it. Now, if we do it that way, you are totally responsible for your own insurance, okay? So whether you insure it or not, it's up to you. You can choose however you want to do it, but that's on you. Now, the other option is I can quote you a shipping quote. I generally use FedEx with the insurance, so that's an option too. It's however you want to do it and what makes it easier. So with that said, I hope that answers the question about this piece. You'll see the beautiful reboxing video, and hopefully you will have your mind set at ease. Let's get to it. All right, everyone, we're gonna rebox Ichigo. This is gonna be the second layer first. This is not your usual hard foam. This is the soft foam that molds to things. We'll talk about that in a little bit when we actually get to putting it back in the box, about why it's different. The cool thing about this Tian Tong piece is that they really did a phenomenal job on the portraits for Ichigo. I mean, the sculpt on the hair, the gaze, I mean, pretty much everything on this is spot on for Ichigo Kurosaki. It's definitely a cool piece. Here's the full visored mask. I mean, they sculpted this so well that like you can see the separation. You know, it's two different pieces, but then you can see the eyes inside, and it looks like just from the anime. It's really, really cool. This is a half visor mask, also really, really well done. Here we have the upper body, and the flare on this is just, I mean guys, this is just so gorgeous. I love this thing. Honestly, I would totally keep this piece, but this 1/6 is just way too small for me. And I kind of wish when I bought this I actually got the 1/4 instead. I think though when I bought it the 1/4 was sold out, that's why I grabbed the 1/6, but this 1/6 doesn't display for my collection. But the body is just, the flare on this is just, they did such a good job with the flare on Ichigo's Bankai. It just looks great. I have a funny feeling that this effect piece goes under that arm, so yeah, we gotta redo it because fun. Anyway, before we do that, here is this little his sash on the front of his belt. Here we have this very awesome rock base for the piece. Overall, this piece is actually very light, so it's going to be great on shipping. What I'm doing right now is I'm putting all these little tiny pieces of foam underneath just to pad it and reinforce it so that there's no gap between the foam and the piece. Oh, it does. Cool. And now we just gotta redo the packing of getting foam underneath this gap between the arm and the body. Because like I said, the last thing I want is for you to get a piece from me with issues. And we're going to foam under the flares of the coat as well, because we definitely don't want any issues there, especially these tips. So I'm going to do that. I'm just gonna lightly pack up and fill in all these gaps. With foam to protect it. Okay. This big piece here is nice. Provides some support. Then I go out that way. Some from here. Get that in. Just overall really making sure we pack this properly so that you, the new person who's getting it, is going to get a solid piece. I really don't want any issues in transit. Oh, this is a beautiful piece. The last thing I want is for you to get it and be upset and disappointed. Because I'll be upset. Because I am a collector like you, and I don't want anyone to have a horrible experience. We carefully see we're going to cover up. As much as we can. You saw me pack up and really foam up this area because I don't want any problems when, like I said, gaps between the foam and the piece. And I've also gone and done the same thing over here where I've packed this thing up with foam because I don't want any damages during shipping. It's just a cloud effect piece that goes in the front of the base. So let's pack that up. ES plate. This is number 203 of 248. The ES plate I think will fit better in this top layer. Tensei Zangetsu sword with the effect piece. This is PVC, so it's flexible, which is also good so you don't have any, problems. Here we have Ichigo's legs. The texture on this whole thing is just really awesome. And it's well sculpted. Here you have your bust stand for all the two switch out portraits. Another bus stand. Here we have a really large Katsuga Tensho translucent resin effect piece. Line the bubble wrap in the foam. There we go. And then at the top, and then stick this piece in there. And here's the very last Katsuga Tensho effect piece, the smaller one. I'm gonna put this piece in here just so that this doesn't have this angle. So again, we want to minimize the gaps. Alright guys, we have everything very snugly and securely packed. As you guys could see, I spent a lot of time making sure all the foam is situated properly, because as I said, at least the last thing I want is for anything to happen in transit. Now, like I said before, this is something that, while this kind of foam is soft and protective and it's nice, you really wanted the hard styrofoam, which they did not do. Now the other thing that they did was, you can see this was actually sent by tape, so that's obviously not going to work for us. So we are going to tape it up, but after that we are also going to use these straps that I bought to secure and finish packing the piece. Alright, because of the size of this box, I've just reinforced the tape, and I think this one long strap is going to be more than enough to comfortably guys, that is all sealed and wrapped up. Let's get it back in the box. Protective corners on. Luckily this thing is really light, so you can easily and safely maneuver this without any hassle. This is Tian Tong Studios Ichigo resealed. Now, before we actually ship this out to you, we're going to do a final, seal of tape and everything. But thanks for watching. Hope you like this piece. I hope you get it. I hope you like the reboxing of the Tian Tong Studios Ichigo. I hope it assuaged and put any of your concerns and fears at ease. And I hope you like it, and I hope you want to get it. Not much to say. Like I said, really good piece. Just don't have the space or the room anymore. So hoping it goes to a good home. We're going to do 275 and email me and we'll talk about it. Alright guys, I'm Payne from Payne Collectibles. Toss a like, subscribe, tell me to go away. I'll see you guys in the next video.